Welcome to The First Sip, the show that's really a bottle share that's disguised as a podcast. I'm Chris, and I'm joined here with my fellow co-host. What's going on, Ruben?
What's up, guys?
Good to see you, my man. To my right, I got Joel. What's going on, brother?
I'm back.
Hey, he's here. And then we are unfortunately missing the fourth and maybe most important member of our podcast. Allie is out today for various reasons, so she'll be back. She'll be back shortly. Don't worry about that. She's enjoying some time with her mother and stuff like that. As this is we are approaching Mother's Day. This is at the time of this recording. It'll be out after that, but just to give a little behind the scenes there. Anyway, so I got first sips today, so I thought it was kind of appropriate since we're doing the three amigos. I thought it only proper to serve a little amigo lager. What do you think, boys? Start ourselves, and then we got a few beers to drink here. Joel doesn't even have...
amigo lager to me.
I mean, it's essentially, well, here, let me pour yourself for it, but it is a Mexican lager there. I mean, in fact, you're holding it right now, Joel, if you want to read the back there.
Can I kill it? Is it all mine?
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah, I got...
It is 5.5% alcohol. It's 12 fluid ounces. It's a pint. The government warning says that according to the Surgeon General, women. Oh wait, okay, that's not the beer. So Amigo Lager is actually something that's brewed by Port Brewing. That's here in San Diego. It's,
yeah,
North County. Same brewery as Lost Abbey. If you're unfamiliar, it's the same brewery. Just
THC,
a different
Tiny Bubbles.
THC, Tiny Bubbles. They also have a hard tea. Some kind of like alcoholic tea brand now.
I think you're right. They don't even really associate. Isn't that like kind of separate, or do they still sort of?
They're diversified across many beverage
super diversified.
types.
You got to diversify your bonds.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right. It says Amigo Lager. Amigo is just that, a reliable, unpretentious buddy who will show up on couch moving day to bring shrimp for the barbecue. This is making me think of shrimp while I drink this beer. I'm not sure if I want to think about shrimp while I drink a beer.
I don't know, dude. What's wrong with shrimp, bro?
I mean, shrimp flavored beer. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'd say beer lager. Say some like beer and shrimp. Actually, we were talking, it's like, a little bit before the show about cicadas and stuff, and people, making recipes out of like food recipes. I actually saw some stuff. It was like on a homebrew forum about someone making a cicada beer.
Oh,
how about that?
That's one way to do it. Yeah.
I forget exactly what they were doing in order to make it like kosher or whatever, but I was like, the reason it was kind of funny is because it was actually in my homebrew group, and somebody had done a presentation about it started off as a joke, but then he ended up giving a presentation on it as like kind of a fuck you to everybody, but he essentially did a presentation on meat beers and was basically trying to make the case of like, so technically, like you've seen like porters and stuff made with like oysters.
You mean wheat beer, not meat beer, wheat beer, right?
No, meat beer.
Meat.
Stuff that
MEAT.
Yeah, 4 legs.
Cows, chickens.
So it's the anti-modern times approach.
Yeah, exactly. This is like keto times.
Beer is definitely not vegan.
Yeah. Super not vegan for sure. But it was like I said, it was like made a little bit more sense once he explained some of them, and he was talking about like because it's like a technique that was done back in the day of using like oyster, like some of the briny liquid from like oysters and stuff like that to make a porter. And that's like something that's done fairly, I don't say regularly, but it's a technique that's legitimate. And just using kind of different salinity. I've seen Jester King had a beer, same kind of thing. It wasn't a porter, but it was like a saison type thing that used like oyster briny stuff. I actually had it. It wasn't bad. It was all right. But
so oyster briny stuff. That sounds delicious. Sounds like a fantastic beer.
That sounds disgusting.
But that's not, dude. I'm telling you, you wouldn't even know. They didn't tell you. You've been like, okay. I bet you've had some sort of porter that has.
I've had oyster stouts for sure.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So it's like the same thing, but
oysters are gross. So like that's a no for me, dog.
Come on.
Yeah, it's like eating loogies, on, man. Salty loogies.
That's exactly what it is. It's loogies.
You ever had like oysters, Rockefeller, and shit like that? It's like pretty dope.
I don't even know what that is.
It's some fancy shit, dude. Let me tell you, man. Like
I've had those, oyster shooters. Like I've tried it like 3 times in my life, and they're gross each time. I'm done. It's a no for me.
All the gourmet food is just what used to be poor people food, like fondue. Fondue is like friggin' hard cheese that was too hard to eat would break your teeth, and then hard bread that was too hard to eat, it would break your teeth. So you'd melt the cheese down and then dunk the rock hard bread in it and be able
Soften
to
it
eat
up and
both.
stuff.
And
Same
was
thing
what
with
poor
lobster.
people had to
Yeah.
eat. Yeah,
Lobster
lobster.
used to be poor
Feed that shit
people
to,
food.
they used to feed that to prisoners.
Yeah, lobster is bugs, giant bugs that roam the bottom of the ocean and eat dead
But
stuff.
how stoked were those prisoners back in the day when they're like, "Oh yeah, you're serving us this bullshit, huh?" Like, and they're like, "This is fucking." I mean, granted, like I don't know if they're
Lobster
preparing
sucks.
in a way. Oh my god.
Lobster sucks, dude.
All right, are we gonna
We're
all right,
gonna
this is are we gonna get right into this?
We're
You
gonna get
fucking
right
guy.
into this. Lobster
So
sucks.
well, first off, so I mean, if you follow us on any of our social channels or on Facebook, Ruben posted the other day, and we were arguing off show about this, and so I figured it'd be a good thing to bring on. But he brought up the point of our lobster rolls a sandwich. Now, first off, before we even get in there, how did that even what prompted you to even go down that road?
So we were having this argument on a separate group chat with friends. We were talking about what constitutes a sandwich, and we were talking about lobster rolls. And I am under the thought that while it can technically be a sandwich, that gives credence to the age-old question that hot dogs are 100,000% sandwiches. If we're giving lobster rolls a pass.
Do you consider? Are you a person that considers a hot dog a sandwich?
Absolutely.
What content for you? I mean, I guess it's just the age-old question. To be honest, I kind of hate this question in some senses. Ooh. Ruben here just opened up a little cool zone for modern times. These I haven't tried this one yet, but these have been delicious.
Oh, that's so good.
These are like
so good.
really, really
is this
good.
a flavored? Is this one of the flavored ones?
Mellow and
yeah, okay.
Ginger.
Ginger.
There is a
That's
base. Look up the Untapped if you have the time. Look up the Untapped entries for the just regular flavored one. Just
There's a regular flavored one?
There's like a plain one. It's just a saison, just a plain one.
I'm a huge fan of ginger, so this is right up my alley. It almost tastes like a tea.
Whoa, that smells great.
It's amazing.
They had the first cool zone one I had. I was playing golf with our buddy Ryan Glancy, like at the end, towards the end of last year, and it was one. I thought it was one of the first times they had released it, but it was like peach, like some kind of stone fruit blend one, and it was like I literally was chugging it. It was like better than soda. Like, I mean, if you like, as far as like, I use that as like, just as like a drink that I would drink for enjoyment and thirst quenchiness. I just was like, I was chugging it. It was delicious. And this is like, really it smells, getting like kind of that chalky candy kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of reminds me of like just a really good, I'm going to go ahead and try now.
Yeah. So going back to it, I think if we're going to give lobster rolls a pass, making it a sandwich, then that makes hot dog 1,000% a sandwich.
All right, yeah. So first off, I think it's kind of like, why are we trying to make everything sandwiches? You know what I mean? Like, why is this even a debate? Or like, is a sandwich like, is it a good thing that a hot dog is a sandwich? If you think it's a sandwich, is that a bad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, so here's before we get into the lobster roll part specifically, here's my just thought is like, if you already have a name, then you're not a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, you've like transcended sandwiches. Like, to me, a sandwich is almost lesser. Like,
so
like a hot dog. A hot dog is a hot dog.
If you go to a deli and you order a Ruben, is it not a sandwich, even though it has its own name?
That's different.
That's not different. You just
hold on. Let me go down my path here. You'll have your chance. But what I'm saying is, like, if you have a name already, a Ruben is like a name of like it was a sandwich first, and then you decided just because it's named after you.
Okay,
dude.
so is a
if you're a hot dog, if you're a hot dog,
not a sandwich.
If you are a hot dog, why are you trying to be a sandwich? You know what I mean? You're already a hot dog. Like, you don't go to something. Let me ask you, how do you? So when you go, say when you order a hot dog, how do you order a hot dog?
I say, let me get a hot dog.
You don't say, can I get a hot dog sandwich?
How do you order a Ruben?
I say, can I get a Ruben sandwich?
You do not say that, you fucking liar.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's listed. You put it this way. Do you ever see hot dogs listed under the sandwich category? No. Rubens are always a when you're on a menu.
Is a lobster roll ever listed under a
hell
sandwich?
Yeah, dude,
no,
all the time. All right, so we'll get into like hamburgers. Same thing. Hamburgers are my general. Like, even like this, you may not agree with either. Aren't a sandwich. And here's my other logic: is that if it's on a bun, it's not a sandwich. So hot dog bun. on a bun, not two pieces of bread. Hamburger,
What-
bun. Even though it's two different things, that's a bun.
What
but
is
a roll, but a lobster,
what
but
a
here, the
lobster
lobster
roll
roll,
served on?
a roll, but that's like French roll. Like there's plenty of sandwiches that are served on rolls, and that's what it is. It's just like it's basically kind of like a sub in a way, but it's like a French roll, this kind of roll, any kind of roll. This is why I put lobster rolls in the sandwich category, because rolls hold sandwiches. Boom. Mic drop. All right, I'll see you guys later.
First of all, let's just dismantle your notion right here. If you ever go to a legit place that serves lobster rolls, they always have like the piece of bread that they cut themselves on top. First of all, it's not even in the sandwich. It's like on top of the sandwich.
It's like in it. It's kind of a
barely
weird.
in it. It's so
It's
weird.
like a French roll, dude. Think about it. You cut the top of it. You still cut the top of it.
So hot dog is already more of a sandwich.
No, that's a bun. That's a bun, dude. A bun is way different. A bun is way different than a roll.
So typically we have sandwiches with deli meats, right? So that includes ham, turkey, chicken breasts, right? Typical stuff that you find at a deli. What do you find at a deli? You usually find hot dogs. So a hot dog, just by that, more credence goes in between two pieces of bread.
What do you say? Like Joel's staying kind of quiet over here. I feel like you need to break our tie a little bit.
Over here, hot dog's a sandwich, and so is a lobster roll. They're both sandwiches.
Yeah, 100%. But I think hot dogs deserve it more.
Why is that? Well, why is it? I mean, I agree with you about the lobster roll. Obviously, I think lobster roll is a sandwich, but why hot? I just don't get why do people want to make a hot dog a sandwich? Why is it like
basically
this is a sandwich? Like
a sandwich is any like piece of bread type situation that has something put in between it, right? Whether or not it's two separate pieces of bread, or the top or the bottom of a sliced bun, or a slit roll that's been stuffed full of stuff. That's basically what a sandwich is. In fact, there's open-faced sandwiches too, so they don't even have to have
cheesesteaks,
toppers on them. Yeah.
Well, if anything, that makes more credence to
cut in half.
And I use for citation Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition.
I was going to see if you had something. I knew you would have some.
And they proclaim that a sandwich is number one, two or more slices of bread, or a split roll having a filling in between, or two, one slice of bread covered with food.
Whoa, hold on. You skipped right to two or more slices of bread?
Yep. So like you could have a
hot dog. So hot dog is not two slices.
No, or one slice of bread covered with food. Damn it. So
either that, you're going to discredit Philly cheesesteaks. Philly cheesesteaks is a roll cut in half, since it's technically not two pieces.
I'd say Philly cheesesteak is a sandwich. But like I said,
so you're just giving supporting evidence
saying,
for hot dogs.
No, dude, because a Philly cheesesteak is on a hoagie roll, not a bun. It's not on a bun. I feel like the bun thing is what sticks in my craw. It's like if it's on a bun, that's something different. It's got its own thing. Like, why are we trying to make it like, Philly cheesesteak? Because you will call a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. People say that. But you never say, you'll say a Philly cheesesteak sandwich was what?
If hot dog is not a sandwich, what is it?
It's a hot dog. Hot dog on a bun.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know.
That's
I
right.
feel like if Chris ran a restaurant, you'd go in and you'd be like, here you go, and you'd try to pay for something with $20 bill. He'd be like, no, we don't take $20 bills. That's not money. We take $5 bills though. That's money. He'd be like,
hey, dude, there's plenty of places. There's plenty of places that don't take $20 bills. How
or
about that?
he'd be like, hey, this is my dog.
I don't carry cash.
Could be fake, man.
That's a Chihuahua. Chihuahua's not a dog. It's like where does it stop? Where does it stop? If you're going to exclude all of these things from being sandwiches, well then what the hell are they?
I'm a sandwichist.
I'm gonna speak for Allie since she's not here.
She would agree with me.
She would agree with the hot dogs are sandwiches.
I don't know, dude. We don't have to phone a friend or something. Like this is
phone a friend.
Well, so Joel. So at least it's kind of we have a weird predicament because Joel agrees that lobsters are a sandwich, but so are hot dogs. I don't think hot dogs are sandwich, but Ruben says hot dogs are a sandwich, but lobster rolls are not a sandwich.
No, I said they're both sandwiches, but I think that hot dogs are more of a sandwich than a lobster roll. Because a lobster roll, if you go to a decent place, they get like a slice of bread and they cut it up top and barely stuff it. So it's
actually
you're having your toppings on top of a piece of bread instead of in it.
I'm gonna go to a lobster place just for this question. Not only just to enjoy.
I mean, but going back
to
what
they would call it. I wonder what they would call it. Like a lobster place. Like, what if they're like, no, fuck no, like just in a Boston accent, like these ain't no fucking.
This ain't no fucking sandwich.
Yeah, now go park your car and get a wicked
In
lobster.
theory, if you took a pizza and folded it in half, it would technically be a
All right,
sandwich.
get the fuck out of here, Joel. That's like that Papa John's thing. They have like those like pizza, those like rolled up, those like folded pizzas or something like.
The pizzones.
No, they're called. Is
The
that what it's
calzones?
Is it pizzone? That's what they call it. I thought they have some. I thought they had some other name.
That's a Pizza Hut though. The pizzone.
Are calzones sandwiches?
So here's another question that I have for you guys: can anyone out pizza the Hut?
Oh, everybody out pizzas the Hut. Pizza Hut
Pretty much
sucks
everybody,
dick,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I agree.
They're the least. They're my least favorite of even the like main pizza chains. Much
Domino's
less like.
is worse for me.
Nah, dude, I like Domino's.
Domino's
dude.
is worse. I agree. Way worse. Way worse than
Wait,
Pizza
really?
Hut.
Think so?
Stuffed crust alone beats
See,
Domino's.
I think I'm not a stuffed crust guy. I like Domino's because they have garlic bread crust, which I think is dope.
You could do that at Pizza Hut.
Oh,
Little Caesars, this may be controversial.
Oh,
I think
Little
Little
Caesar's
Caesars
the
is
worst one,
worse
actually.
than
Yeah,
Domino's.
Yeah.
Specifically the hot and ready
Also,
ones.
Domino's has the 5-5-5 deal. A big
So does
fan.
Pizza Hut.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
God damn it! Cut his mic, Joel. Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
Patronize
This guy-
your local pizza places. Of course, I was spoiled. I grew up in a town that it was a college town. We had a ton of pizza places that were all local, like one or two locations. Even ones that had were people that used to be married who had to change the spelling of their last names, but still had pizza places that had this pronounced the same but spelled different because they got divorced and stuff. But both great pizza places.
Well, here's the thing that sucks is just that local pizza places are a little bit pricier. You know, if I'm trying to spend like $6 on a pizza, you can't really out pizza the chains.
Dude, you know what's dope though?
And then on top of that, it's just it's the price point, and then even bad pizza is pretty good pizza. There's like that old saying.
It's pretty hard to fuck up, dude.
Yeah, it's like
pretty good. Yeah.
like what's
Bad
the,
pizza,
it's- when they compare it like
like almost like no such thing as a bad donut. You know what I mean?
there's no such thing as like bad sex because you still had sex. You know what I mean? Like
True. And I mean, I can see. Like, I don't know. As guys, I
as
pretty
for
much.
guys,
Yeah, for guys.
it's
For chicks, I
different-
think
it's
it's
different for
chicks.
girls. It's way different for girls.
What do you think, Alan? Oh wait, she's not here.
That's
It's
right.
great.
We
She says it's
silenced
great.
the
She said
woman
it's
on
great.
here.
She said it's great every single time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she said up until she got married.
Yeah. Alex gonna listen to this shit and be like, "Fuck you guys, I'm not coming back."
We're going off
Shit,
the rails.
we are off the rails. Damn,
we're,
I had to go.
we're sober still.
That's right. We didn't pregame at all, unfortunately.
I didn't eat much before this though, so it may not take much for me today.
So let's talk about bottle shares that we've done in between episodes. You know, being that the pandemic is winding down, we've all been doing lots of bottle shares, right? I know I have.
I haven't at all.
Well, why don't you kick us off here, Joel? What have you been doing?
We did all of the FOs, every single one. Ruben passed up his chance to come to it
that's
because he
right.
said he had some sort of excuse, like, quote, I have to go to work or some crap like that. Like,
Yeah, god damn it.
I was bummed. I actually missed that one too, and I was pretty bummed. I missed that. That was a pretty epic share weekend. I mean, we actually recorded our show. I think that Friday, right? That was the Travis episode
yes.
weekend, and then Glancy had our buddy Glancy again. He had a share that was pretty big, and I couldn't make either of them.
I went to that too.
Yeah,
you dead? Were you dead on Monday? Because we did pretty good on Friday as well. That was
Yeah.
nothing.
I produced our last show, then I went to a birthday share, then I hosted the FO thing, and no, I was fine.
What was your favorite share? I feel like that's fucked up to say. I feel like the FO thing was.
They're
pretty
all
cool,
really
though.
good.
I know you were looking forward to that.
We
FO.
bring up FO over and over again. It's fundamental observations, vanilla stout, barrel aged vanilla stout from Bottle Logic. And the cool thing that we did was we had all the vintages going back to the very first one. Of course, the first one was, we've talked about it before. It was like a big deal when it came out and really popular. And people held it up and held up later vintages to it and said that most of them never measured up to it. But what was interesting was that it's old now. It's like 6 going on 7 years old. So it was like everyone kind of expected that it was not going to.
So you guys
taste very
you
good.
guys had the original.
Mm-hmm. And it was. I had to give it like the win over everything just because of how old it was and how well how good it tasted.
Really, just out of like respect and just also
Just
like
out
it
of-
just how surprised. Sometimes, like I said, like, a lot of times I'll rate a beer better maybe than another one that's pretty close if it exceeded my expectations by you know what I mean. So if I could see
It was kind of like that. It was like there were other I think 2020 would win because it was fresher, but the 2015 being as old as it was tasted incredibly good, very surprisingly good. Everyone agreed. Another surprise was Theorem. If you know that one, that was the quadruple barrel aged 2017.
it's mellowed out a bit or what?
It's mellowed out a lot. It tastes great. It does
I
not
could see that
just
one
taste
being
like
really good.
whiskey anymore.
I think I have one bottle of that left.
we were all surprised. Everyone was really surprised by
I think
how
that
good
one's gonna
was.
age kind of like
Yeah, Micah was an asshole because I told him to do it on Saturday. He said no.
what a dick. But I was gonna say is I completely brain-farted. What were
Yeah, so
No.
I had
theorem. Sorry. Theorem was, I feel like it's going to age a lot like Black Tuesday, where it's just like Black Tuesdays are typically way too hot to drink right away. And then Theorem was the same thing. It was just like way too hot. And then I feel like it's just going to meld into something real nice.
See, to
Seems
me,
like
I
it
think
started
it aged better than Black Tuesday, honestly. I was
Well, shit.
surprised.
Well, that's not hard.
Yeah.
That's not hard at all. But yeah, I haven't been going to shares because there was that weekend that everything was happening. Ryan's was on Saturday. I was in LA at the Dodger game, which reminded me that.
Well, so you couldn't do the Saturday share anyway.
Yeah, I know. But, which
or maybe you would have made the like, oh well, because I know how you feel about baseball.
Oh fuck! It reminded me that I am not a fan of baseball. It's a fucking dull sport, and I don't understand the fascination with it.
Yeah, I mean,
so I went there with my cousin and his wife, and then two of our childhood friends. Like we've all known each other since elementary school. So it was kind of cool to hang out with everybody again. Like we were drinking beforehand. We were drinking in the parking lot. We were drinking in the stadium. So we were having a good time, right?
getting after it.
Yeah, and after, but we were having a good time, and it was like the fifth inning, and we all kind of just looked at each other. You guys want to get the fuck out of here? like what are we doing here?
No, I feel you. I did. Like, I mean, 90% of the time, like, I don't say 90%. Pretty much, I don't go to baseball games, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna go watch some baseball day. I'm going to the baseball game because it's like we're gonna pregame with my boys. We're gonna be drinking like we're in San Diego, so Petco Park is pretty dope. There's some good food there. There's just it's more of like an event type thing. It's like, hey, I'm going here to socialize and stuff. And actually, a lot of the Padre games I went to in college, they used to have this college night, and they'd drive us in party buses from the school down to downtown, and it was like
free party buses.
Yeah, it was super. It was basically it was all inclusive. Like you paid like $20 or some kind of. It was super cheap and included the party bus ticket, everything. And so you cruise down there. You'd be drinking pretty good on the way down there, and then we had our own level too, where all the college people met up, and it just was like a big party. Nobody watched any fucking baseball. Like, you know what I mean? It was like you caught a little bit, but it was just as like a party. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I know Joel is an old soul, so maybe he's a baseball fan. I don't know.
No, not anymore. I used to be. I was a little kid. I liked baseball, but
that's when they were roiding. That's when they were roiding, and it was good.
Yeah. I had my baseball card collection. I love collecting them. I love looking up the prices and the values of them and feeling like I was rich because I've got, like had a rookie card
oh my God.
for like, Ken Griffey Jr. And
it was like the wrong brand of rookie cards.
Like, yeah, but then one day I was like, oh man, I'm bored. I'm really bored by baseball. And I went to some games. I did go to a very thrilling game that was the Cleveland Indians versus the Toronto Blue Jays, and Jim Thome hit a grand slam. And that was pretty exciting. Yeah. I mean, that's as exciting as it gets, really, right? Like you see a grand slam.
I actually saw a pretty dope game. A lot of people, especially in the Southern California area or California area just in general, might remember this one. It was a pretty big one where it was the Dodgers versus San Francisco Giants, and it was like a one game. Basically, the Dodgers just needed to win like one game in order to get into the playoffs over the Giants. And Steve Finley hit like a 3-run homer walk off to fucking send him into the playoffs over the Giants. And it was like a particularly big game because they're big rivals, those two teams, and it was one of those ones where I've heard people talk about it years later, like, oh man, there's this one game. I was like, I think I was at that shit. But anyway,
so I've been to 3 games. One's when I was 10 years old, and it was a big deal because the Yankees were coming to San Diego. So I guess it's like
that's pretty good. They don't come very often.
Interleague type of thing.
Yep.
So that was a big deal. So I went to that. That was when I was 10 years old, and I was bored out of my mind because I remember the final score being like 2-1 or something stupid like that. And then the second time was when I was like 21. I went to a San Francisco Giants versus Padres game because one of my friends was a Giants fan, and I was bored out of my mind. We all got drunk. My friend got kicked out, so that was the end of the game.
Okay, yeah.
And then the third one was just recently, and it's just like once a decade reminder that I do not like baseball. Next one will be when I'm 40, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I found myself going regularly to like probably one game a season or so, and like I said, not because I enjoy baseball necessarily, but it's always some kind of thing. It's Petco's in a nice area, so there's a lot of stuff to do downtown.
Yeah, there's something about there's there's the difference in culture, like football and like baseball. It's just like there's really no pregame for baseball. Like we pregame because my cousin lives like 4 miles from the stadium. You know, it's like it was pretty easy to get drunk and then just catch the car and we're there.
It's good to go do brunch. What I find is like if you have a game that starts around 1, doing like a morning / kind of brunch session, you know, get some bloodies in, maybe a little breakfast shot or something. It's not a bad way. You're making a face as if something smells really bad.
Something tastes pretty.
Well, I'll say before we get to, Joel just passed around, I think, a secret sip, but I want to shout out real quick that we were just sipping on a collaboration between Beechwood and Enegrin, which, you know, Enegrin, obviously we shout them out quite a bit here, one of our favorite lager producers, and Beechwood is a favorite brewery of mine. Like, I just always think, you know, they're not super hype or anything, but they always make really solid stuff. So I was pretty stoked when I saw this guy. It's an American Dortmunder lager.
Dortmunder. That's cool.
That was really good. That's a really good beer.
I didn't know they did a collab. That's pretty cool.
I remember seeing it a little while ago, and I saw it on the shelf. Now I was like, oh yeah, it's holding up.
See, I have 2 secret sips. This is the first one.
I swear to God, Joel, this is a non-alcoholic beer. I'm gonna jump across this fucking barrier.
Well, I hope so because this is very awful if it's non.
All right, so describe, give your notes, give your explanations here.
Oh my God, dude, this is definitely one of those. This is going to be one of those
sweet.
athletic.
It tastes sweet. This is
but sweet with grass though.
This is what this is why I am not a huge fan of hazy IPAs. It's that cloying sweetness that a lot of them have. A lot of people producing hazy IPAs shouldn't be producing hazy IPAs. Like
it's like
I feel like there's maybe 5 breweries that have nailed it, and everyone else is kind of just
5 breweries in the world,
in the country. I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating, of course, but it's like The Alchemist, like Treehouse.
Yeah,
Trillium
this one's gonna be a no
bit.
for me, dog.
Monkish, of course, other half, and then I struggle to name another hazy IPA producer outside of those.
Or it's out of interest, but I would say I'm getting a big. They said it's kind of sweet, but I'm getting like this big grassy note, like kind of bitter a little bit, but like just kind of grassy, and it's not doing it for me. It's gonna be a no for me, like I said.
All right, so both of you are nopes on this one, huh?
Okay,
no, that's good. All right, y'all, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's not non-alcoholic.
That's a shame.
You guys were just trash talking our good friend Scott Schlegg's new homebrew.
No,
Bhagavan.
oh no!
And this is
dude,
so this
really?
This is a different. Like he did tweak the recipe. He did use Clariform, whatever it's called. It's the White Lab stuff to reduce the gluten content on it. This is the first time.
That's probably what it is.
That might be it. I know he makes really good. I know he makes really good beer.
Strata, Galaxy, and Citra that are the hops in this one. So,
hey, make sure he doesn't listen to this podcast.
Shit, yeah,
so I brought this along. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spring this on and see. Let's get some honest feedback. No, I mean,
I'm sorry.
I think he appreciates honest feedback. So there you go.
I would too. I would too. It's hard to hear sometimes. But
well, I'm an asshole. First of all, secondly, I am not a huge fan of this style.
I also want to say though, Scott is like an award-winning home brewer who like.
No, I know he makes really. No, he does.
And,
he makes really good stuff. I'm surprised that, like I said, it must be the gluten thing because this was. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
You'd had this one before, Bhagavan?
Yeah, I've had his That's what I'm saying. I've had his Bhagavan before. Yeah. It's good.
It's a great beer.
It doesn't look something about it too. Like, do you know when he canned it?
Just like a couple days ago. So it's fresh.
That's probably what it is. It just needs a little time. You know what I mean? It's kind of like monkish. You know what I mean? It needs a little time.
So good friend of the show. Thank you, Scott. Sorry that these two
actually, yeah. I almost
these
brought
two Philistines trashed your beer. But
I had a buddy give me
honest feedback. I suppose
I had a buddy give me one of his home brews, and I almost brought it today. I was like kind of debating it. That would have been that would have been awesome to do that.
So I just popped a brewery. I am not making a political statement. This is just the name of the beer. This is Reparations by Modern Times Beer Company.
They definitely make a lot of statements with their beers.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Like Medicare for All yesterday.
I appreciate. I don't agree with all of their political stances, but I don't disagree with anyone saying whatever the fuck they want about the.
Yeah, exactly. Call your beer what you want to call it. You know what I mean? It's free market. People are going to vote with their money. It's like if you don't like it, then don't buy it. If you do or don't care, then obviously everything that Modern Times makes, in my opinion, is. Above average or usually very, very above average to great or amazing. So I have. Is there anything in this one? Is it just a stout?
Ginger, vanilla, and Rwandan coffee, I believe.
Ginger in a stout, huh? Oh,
you can't really taste it, but it's pretty damn good. It's whatever their base stout recipe is, they fucking nailed because it's great. It has sweetness to it, but this one's not overly sweet.
It smells good.
But yeah, what I appreciate about 100 Times is they're very, very open with who they are as a company, and I always get a little bit of joy when I feel people freak out about them. Like last year when they released Medicare for all during a pandemic, and there was a lot of these like people who disagreed with that notion.
Were there people actually freaking out over the name of that beer?
Yeah, Medicare for all.
Of course there were.
Yeah, and then people were
never gonna buy any of your beer again.
Yeah,
unfollow
keep your
them,
politics to yourself. It's like, do you not? You clearly are not a Modern Times fan if you do not know where they stand politically. Like that was like the.
And even if you do disagree, it's like it does. I mean, I just feel like you disagree with them politically, so you're not gonna buy their beer. Like I don't know. It's not like. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe the way it depends on how you think of it. It's not like they're forcing it upon you. They're declaring what they believe. You know what I mean? They're giving their point of view. So I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
And that's the thing that sucks though, is because as somebody who tries to lean in the middle politically, like to me, I have no issues on either side. But it's like when conservative people go after like Modern Times. I want to say by a large part, like the beer community is pretty liberal. By like, I don't want.
I think so, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to cast,
dude. It's no, you'd be ostracized if you were saying you didn't agree with a lot of that stuff. I'd say.
Yeah, which sucks because when then there's a conservative like brewery, people rip them to shreds, tear them up with reviews on Yelp or on Facebook, and I'm like, dude, if you don't like something, you don't have to support them, but like to go trash somebody's business just because you don't agree with them politically.
There's also a big difference, I think, between a brewery like saying like they're a conservative brewery and also a brewery that's spewing hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can be a conservative brewery. Like you also don't have to be shouting it from the the rooftops. But it's like unless like you said, I think a lot of times like I don't know if you're thinking of anything specific, but like brewery will say they're not about something specific, and it's like why I feel like if you're spewing hate, that's just like a reason for people to not like you anyway. So it's like, but if your general opinion is that you're a conservative brewery, like like I said, to me, I'm not bothered either way. But
yeah, I'm not bothered. I'm just bothered by the reaction by people on the left. It's just like,
I honestly think that no matter which way it is, again, I feel like I don't understand. Like if people like you're almost giving more credence to Modern Times' point if you're someone who like speaks outright against their beliefs and stuff. Like you're actually helping their cause even more by making yourself and your viewpoint look even lesser. By you know what I mean? It's like if you don't like it, like I said, vote with your money, vote with your feet, and let it be. Like I don't think I don't understand the. Like I said, all these different comments, like I said, and then even if it's the other way, it's just like if you don't like it, then people aren't going to buy your beer, or you are going to buy their beer, and that's going to be what it's going to be. Like the market speaks for itself.
I vote with my taste buds. If your beer sucks, I'm not buying it.
Exactly.
Shout out to Pure though, because I love their branding. I love the 1% for the Earth thing that they do. But their beer sucks, so I don't go there.
The one thing I would say, though, is a brewery that's not very good, but uses some sort of cause like that to try to, like, boost up their brand. I have a problem with that.
Pure Project?
But they make it, I'd say, but they're objective, or they're subjectively a good brewery.
No, they're not.
I would say that, like there's worse breweries that try to, I think, use stuff. Like, Modern Times is a fucking excellent brewery. So it's like I said, whatever their viewpoint is, it doesn't really matter that they're trying to push, whatever their political view is.
Project,
but if you're someone who's like,
Pure Project has their branding like all about Earth and all that, but their beer sucks. So it's just like
their beer's a little. I don't think it sucks.
I don't think it sucks. No, but have they had some duds? Yeah, but so did Modern Times. Modern Times had infection issues.
And dude, they almost fucked
Pure
their whole
Project.
thing.
When's the last time they had a great beer?
I would say the Modern Times collaboration they just did.
Oh, that's because Modern Times was involved.
It was really good. Well,
their beer for me,
great Notion collab
I think their beer is overpriced sometimes for Pure. Like their wild ales will be in the $30, like basically like $28 for some of their stuff. And not to say that
it's the same as Modern Times.
Yeah, isn't that the going rate though?
Not for. I'm saying for a sour beer.
Yeah, that's Modern Times were like 30 plus bucks for like a 750 ml of their early sours when they first started rolling them out.
I feel like you may be right about that, but I doubt that they have anything in that price range now though. Because
Modern Times does, but now they started packaging their beer in
But I'm saying is the price for what you're like. You can charge $28-$30 if you're like making banging wild ales though. I don't know that they're making like I don't think beer sucks, but I think that their beer's too much for how good it is.
This is the perception though. You're perceiving that their quality is not as great, so they shouldn't be allowed to charge as much. So the breweries, which I agree with your sentiment, but that is the going rate now. $30 for a barrel-aged beer, $30 for a wild ale. It doesn't, regardless of how good it is. Everybody does that. That's the price point, and unfortunately, we've let it get to that point. When we have stupid people buying from a certain local brewery for non-barrel aged stouts for like $36 to $45, it's just like it's a non-barrel aged stout. It is entirely a false scarcity model because since it's not barrel aged, there's no blending involved. There's no like, oh, let's see what happens with age. You could literally rebrew that stout over and over and over again because it's a non-barrel aged stout. If you're a good brewer, I should say, you should be able to rebrew that stout.
It's not necessarily false scarcity with Pure because their brewing capacity was severely constrained for years, and now it's about to expand because they're building out the Vista location.
They got 4
You
spots.
You just checked that spot out, didn't you, Joel?
I did. I just got a little tour from Thomas. Thank you, Thomas.
They took over Iron Fist, right?
Took over Iron Fist.
It's good. I like that location. I like that location. It's like I said, they have some room to put. They have their brewing system. They'll have some room to put barrels.
It'll be really nice when it's done. We got to see they have like all the artist renderings and stuff, like where you go to the bathroom, so you can like wait in line to go to the bathroom while looking at all these cool artist renderings of what it's going to look like in the tasting room.
Aside from the fact that I'm not a fan of their beer, it kind of sucks because I know that Resident was also trying to get into that spot, and I would much rather Resident have gotten that spot.
That's a tough one. I'm friends with one of the owners at Resident too. So I reached out. It was like I felt so brutal because I was like, and the news broke on it early that Resident was going to get it. And I reached out to him. I was like, dude, congratulations on the Vista spot, blah, 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 blah. And then like he hit me up like a couple days later. He's like, yeah, we didn't get it. And I was like, oh. It was a sore spot.
Faux pas, like, hey, congratulations!
But there was some bullshit. There was some
annulment.
There was some industry drama actually about that. There's like a dude who was like a San Diego beer journalist that was like overstepping his bounds. I don't know if you guys are in San Diego beer plexus.
Brandon Hernandez?
No, he's the one that everybody loves. Like I said, it's industry shit's like real cliquey. You know what I mean? If you're not the guy if you're not these people's guy, they hate on you pretty good. I don't know the full story, and I don't know this other dude, but he wrote, and I haven't even heard of it, but it's called San Diegoville. It's more of like a San Diego kind of like small business / like kind of just San Diego review journal in general, but they have a pretty big beer section apparently.
So
he just dropped
Joel's popping up with another secret sip.
Another secret sip's on deck. Oh, I gotta clean a taster though.
I'm gonna be nicer on this one in case it's another Schleg beer. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go even harder.
No, yeah.
This reparations beer is great.
Yeah, it's a fucking great
dude. That's
beer.
really good, dude. To pay like just as a like I said, non-barrel aged like pastry stout.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised because I've been very not disappointed, but like kind of like over a lot of Modern Times stouts lately. This one is very very good.
It's hard. I've found this out in my own brewery stuff. It's hard to have a really good non-barrel aged pastry stout because everything now is like. Especially for stouts, it's barrel aged or get the fuck out, dude. You know what I mean?
Just make Drunken Elvis over and over again, and I'm good.
Yes, Drunken Elvis, Drunken Elvis, Drunken Elvis.
So if you guys don't know, Chris made a Drunken Elvis, which is Elvis-inspired beer, obviously. And what was his favorite sandwich? It was like peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
With honey.
Honey.
Yeah.
So he brewed a stout with peanut butter, bananas, and honey, and he's made 2 variations of it from what I know. The one at Guadalupe Brewing.
Yeah, that was first time we did was a collab, and then I started.
Say the name of that brewery one more time.
Guadalupe?
See that? That's the correct pronunciation right there.
Guadalupe Brewing.
That is how you say it.
So yeah, and I was blown away at the collab there because I must have had like maybe 6-7 pours of that bitch.
That one was good, dude.
That was so
I had
good.
that idea, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a good because that was also like it was. It was at the very start of the bananas in stout craze. I even think I was one of the first, like I would say, like before it started, you started seeing it in commercial breweries. I was starting to fuck with banana stuff, and it was like right at the beginning, and it just really, I don't know, it just really all worked. You know what I mean? But it's also like, despite the banana being in it, it's like a big part of it was the peanut butter.
I think that probably also like 70 to 80% of all banana stouts produced all come from other half exclusively.
Yeah, for sure.
I know
other half or other half collabs.
Yeah, I know we talked about this, but I'm just not a huge fan of other half stouts. I think they're a great brewery, but their stouts are just for me.
All right, so we got a second mystery.
All right, second secret sips. Also a golden looking beer, but this one you can actually see through.
That's better than the first.
Yeah. Kind of unfiltered West Coast-ish feeling to me. Like you said, it's a little clearer, not completely like, not like pizza port clear necessarily, but like I said, kind of unfiltered looking. But the taste is West Coast vibes for sure.
West Coast vibes.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Getting like, if I had to guess the hop, I'd guess like Simcoe or something like that.
We were so off last time.
I don't know if I want to guess hops anymore.
Ever guess the hops again?
Yeah. I think that was fun. That was fun how far off you guys were.
Well, it just goes to show, dude. Blind tasting stuff is the next. That's the frontier right there. You know what I mean?
I think blind tasting is fucking the only way to be objective about it. Because remember when you guys had fucking Party Cup? I'm like, this beer smells like ass, and then it turned out to be Party Cup. I was like,
yeah, but remember when you tried those other North Park beers and you thought they were better than
they're
Monkish?
good. Yes, yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The blind tasting is the end all be all. Because there's so much, like we've talked about this before. It's just when you have a perception of a beer before you drink it, like you want to give it a better rating. Like, oh, this is a $300 bottle of beer.
Yeah. Well, I think also people have in their mind, they've imagined what a beer might be like, or they have built up like a mental image. And so if they taste something that aligns closely with that mental image, then they're stoked on the beer. Like Fundamental Force is the first one, right?
Oh, that beer was so good.
It was a great beer, but it was so hyped too. Like when we did that vanilla blind tasting, I snuck it in the lineup without anyone knowing because I wanted to see how it shook out in the blind tasting, and it came out like top 3 in the blind tasting. So I was like,
but you also could tell like when a beer like does have hype, because there's one thing like I said, I think I spoke to this as well, is like when something does have a lot of hype and then you go into it thinking it's going to be amazing and you're like,
no, yeah. Mm-hmm. We had that
something
recently
could be good,
with some side project beers, the Maman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is something interesting. I feel like we've covered this topic before, but it's just like I have a lot of friends who only drink whales, like they'll drink nothing else. And I'm like, you guys are lying to yourselves. You guys have insulated yourselves in a circle of people who are only spending X amount of money on beer, and you guys are all gathered around to drinking beer that it's not that good.
I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. Part of it is I haven't had a lot of those beers, so I'm over here like I'm trying to tick some of those beers to be like, okay, is some of these things as good as advertised? So I feel like I'm in a case where it's like, I don't have infinite money to throw at beer, so it's like I'm not consistently getting whales and stuff. It's just hard to get, unless you have a local
like
connection.
2014 to like 2018, I was a whale chaser. I was trying to get my hands in, get in any circle where I can get some whales. And then it's just like they're never worth it.
And then,
they're never worth
it. We switched to sneakers, and
yeah, they're never worth
where your
it.
energy went.
And I would say, I mean, like I don't know if I'm not a whale chaser by any means, but I am somebody who's a bit of a beer snob, and I only want to drink really good beer, though. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I like for me, like the place, like, and I don't even consider it Summit because it has sentimental value, but it's like. Someplace like Pizza Port, they make really good West Coast IPAs, but I'm probably not buying a lot of their stuff to have at home. That's like the type of place where it's like I'm going there to go have pints with my buddies, and we're gonna drink a lot of fucking West Coast and talk about times of old and things like that. You know what I mean?
Are you guys ready to find out what this beer is?
Sip?
Oh yeah, let's see what this was.
Any guesses? No guesses
from like the brewery itself?
Nope.
No.
It's West Coast IPA, right?
It's the Pupil Society.
What hops are in it?
You guessed that it was Society of the Pupil last episode when
there
it was not.
There might be something.
You know what? I don't know if they list the hops on the can. I don't think they do.
I think I recall there's like it's pretty much all Simcoe. I'm pretty sure.
I would not be surprised if that was the case. Honestly,
I hate Simcoe, and the fact that they make Simcoe taste good is fucking a testament to how good they are at brewing.
The People will say it again is a great beer. It's now available in 6-packs, 12-ounce cans. You can't go wrong. Not gonna lie,
that looks pretty tasty.
I bought a 6-pack and I drank 4 of them by myself already. So when we're talking about whales, a recent
apples.
beer that I would call sort of a whale that we all had was that monkish Anchorage barley wine, life-sized. So like I had 2 bottles of that. I brought one to where you guys were at, and we had it together. And then I pulled the trigger and opened the second one last night because I was going to see a few people that I was like, you know what, I don't care. I'm opening this with them. They're gonna they'll enjoy it. And that's a beer that like lived up in my mind to
what you thought it was going to be.
Not that I had a specific idea in my mind, but it's satisfied. Like everybody that had it saw the label and was all like, ooh, excited for it. But then when they tasted it, they were like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good.
That was very reminiscent to me of Great, because we had that 2015 Great.
Yes.
On the same day.
Yes.
I thought Great was better, probably.
I think Great was better, but it had that same caramel, like sweetness note to it.
Yeah, Great was actually like 6 years old.
Yeah.
This one was like brand new or not.
Yeah. So I feel like if you let that, anyone has bottles left of that Anchorage Monkish collab, if you let it age like a year, I guarantee you that beer is going to be fucking money, because it already has that sweet to it. If you let the barrel die down a little bit, it's going to be great.
Because that was a total of like 26 months. They racked it into 2 different types of barrels.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like
the monkish one?
Yeah, the monkish Anchorage collaboration.
I knew it was,
life-sized.
yeah.
No, and that was very good. That was very good. The top 3 barley wines of that day for me were that Anchorage Stout barley wine hybrid. I forget what the name was.
Endless Ending.
Endless.
Yeah, Endless Endling.
Yeah.
Endless Endling.
Number 2 was that monkish Anchorage collab, and then
Life-size.
Great was number 1. And I'm not just saying that because I brought it. I mean, it legitimately
No, I think I would
was fucking
probably
awesome.
agree with that.
Ruben, I got a great photo of Ruben with his Natter Days button down.
That's actually
drinking old money. Yeah,
that's actually my profile picture, because I love this.
That's a great
so
one.
much.
No, it is. That was a great representation right there. I'm trying to think about where
juxtaposition.
I think I probably agree with your ranking. I think, and this is probably one of those things where it's like I wanted it to be up there, but Arcane Rituals was also cracked that day.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah,
that was quite good. That was good.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one.
That'd be 4.
That's probably 4.
Yeah, that's probably 4. But objectively, I think that the Anchorage, the Monkish, and then the Alpine were all better.
Yeah. And I think I'll still, I just want to talk about it again because I talk about it every time I get a chance, is that Jayu from
the Italian barley wine?
Italian barley wine. That shit is still, that shit was like the Great, I think might have been one of the closest things I've had to it. It was pretty similar, those caramely notes and stuff like that, but something about like, I need to get my hand.
It's a still beer.
And it's still, but like,
oh, B5K hit distro around here, just so you know.
Oh,
that's Fremont's barley wine English.
Oh, you know what? I just was at Bottlecraft. I don't know, but they did have it, I think.
I bet they did. Yeah.
Way to fucking go, Chris.
It was warm though. They had it.
Fucking go.
I went right to the cold section because I was trying to get some stuff for the show, and I was like, whatever.
If you guys notice the theme, everything that I brought, it's modern times. I just picked up.
Yeah. You know, I don't hate it, dude. I was actually going to bring some more modern time stuff. I was like, anyway.
So I got a barrel-aged beer and a lager left. So.
Well, should we do, you want to take a quick break? I got a battle beer. I just so I can pour it for us real quick.
Yeah, let's do a quick break and we'll be right back. And it gives us a chance to.
Don't go anywhere that we wouldn't also go.
I have to do it every time.
I gotta ask you, why do you go Southern when you bring us back?
Southern?
And we're back.
No, I was doing more like radio personality guy. Is it coming off Southern?
It's coming off Southern.
And we're back.
That's not what I'm going. I'm trying to do. I was like, and we're back.
I'll tell you what.
No, I was not. That's not what I was going for.
She said you've only got Belgian
you know what
beers in your
there's a Saturday Night Live
refrigerator.
skit where like Jimmy Fallon, he's like total generic radio personality guy, like total radio personality guy, like, and we're back. And that's like, does that sound the Southern?
Okay.
I didn't go full, and we're back.
Like that Midwest Southern jockey. Because I feel like
rock,
those are the only areas where those
like
jockeys
block,
exist
we're
now.
for a rock block station of
Sturgill Simpson doing an album about Lambic.
I love Sturgill Simpson. How dare you? How dare you? I love Sturgill Simpson.
And this would be my Southern. And we're back.
And we're back. I'll tell you.
We got Southern hits here from I was about to say Mel Brooks, but let's
So,
movie again.
if you guys
Yeah,
could
sorry.
see on camera, we have a Battle Beers in front of us brought to you by Chris. We have Driefontein, the Ode Goose, and then we have McKellar Ode Goose.
It's a collaboration of McKellar and Boone, so it is an actual real goose. But it says McKellar on it. It's McKellar Boone collaboration. I thought these would be a good one to battle it out with each other. So we also have some cheeses that we've been kind of snacking on with them, but we're doing first things first though. I mean, what
if you guys notice that the lighting has changed, it's because there's actual sunlight streaming in because we're still recording this during the day. Yes, we are day drinking. It's true. We are living up to our reputations.
We're living our best life over here.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I enjoy both of them. I think Dree has a slight edge just because it has that burnt tire funk.
They're actually very similar.
Very similar.
But I completely agree with. I completely agree
edge.
with Ruben though. The fucking Driefontein just kills it, man. Like the actual gooses, like in a great one to be done that we haven't done yet will be a Cantillon versus 3F. But through my experience, 3F has always been traditionally the better goose producer. Cantillon's got some crazier stuff, some other off kind of things that like they do better. I think that Fufan is kind of in a category of its own. There is a 3F apricot beer that they do, but Fu always kills it. But as far as goose goes,
Fufan House.
3F just is murdering it. And I would agree. Like I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. 3F, I think, for me, wins the battle beer.
I'm not going to beat around the bush here, is what she said. I'm pretty sure.
Hey,
since Allie's not here, I can make all the "that's what she said" Michael Scott jokes.
So we're having some. We also have, if you're looking for some recommended pairings, we're having some aged Gouda and aged cheddar, and then I don't know if you could taste it on there, Joel, but a little bit of barrel aged vanilla honey.
Oh,
Racing the
barrel aged vanilla honey.
Yeah.
So wait, was the vanilla barrel aged, or was the honey barrel aged, or was something else barrel aged?
The honey was
the
barrel.
Bottle
the honey
was barrel aged. We packaged the honey into bottles and then put the bottles in barrels.
Okay, and then rolled them down a hill, just.
Might even put a little bit more on here. Might as well.
Whoa! Look at that. He's got it all
sticky at this point.
rolled up inside of
not a mystery.
some
mystery
aluminum
sips.
foil and everything.
It's just that honey gets everywhere, and there's actually my double vanilla version.
Double vanilla.
Oh, it's actually triple. Never mind. We combined bottles.
Oh no! Don't do it! Don't do it, Chris! Don't
Pour
do
it all. Pour it all.
Pour it all.
Pour it all.
Pour it all.
One of us.
So Chris has been experimenting with vanilla at home. So he's got some honey that he got from a
Mikulich honey. We do a lot of, and sometimes we're not even doing intentional pairings. Necessarily, we just have cheeses and meats and stuff. But in particular, since I knew we were going to be doing a battle beers with a goose battle beer, I mean, I pretty much always have aged Gouda. Like, these are my two favorite cheeses in general. I paired these with, my own wild ales and just with stuff in general a lot. But I just was like, it's always just a good thing. And then the honey on top of it too just is another even third dimension on top of all of that. And I think it's just these two. I already gave my opinion on which one I think is better, but these truly are both really, really good. And like, I'm in beer heaven right now.
Yeah. These are pretty good. Pretty good.
Did you give which one you thought was better, Joel?
Of the two gooses?
Yeah, because I think based on 2 out of 3, we already.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards
wins,
Dree. Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm leaning.
Just a little bit. The Dree one compared, like I said, there is that little bit more rubber tire type thing, but it's just like a little bit brighter. I'm getting like a little bit like, for me, there's like a Boone. There's like that taste of the Boone where it's like just a little bit like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like kind of flat at the end of it. Whereas Dree just has that little like, it's just crisp and
they're both super
bright.
good.
Yeah.
They're both super good, not to diminish any of them. I think I'm going with Dree as well. Although, yeah, don't let that.
Who knows? Maybe, we didn't do these
dissuade
blind.
anyone from
At
buying
all.
this.
Yeah, we didn't do these. Yeah, exactly. This is really good. And actually, for the price so I was just at Bottlecraft, and that's not where I got the Dree from. I had that one. I think that one was actually when I got shipped from the brewery. But Dree bottles were around $60 at Bottlecraft, which is they're not super affordable there. But looking on the back here, the McKellar Boone Goose is a collaboration, and I got this for like $24 at a just a bottle shop, and for that price of what you normally would have to pay for like a Lambic or Goose from one of these Lambic breweries, it's a pretty good price. I mean,
yeah, they're both great beers. There's no denying that. Joel, do you have anything to pop before I pop something?
Well, what are you popping next? Oh, I do then. Yes, I do. If that's what you're popping, I do have something to pop before that.
Soft Swerve Edition.
Yeah,
you totally
save
didn't give me
it.
that shit. Or anyway, you just
I
saved it
didn't buy any. Yeah, I didn't buy any.
Oh, is that included?
Yeah.
So what
That's
if
good.
you're not watching what Ruben so deftly did a little juggling
I've heard that
move
shit's- I mean,
of
Chaos
and
Grid
flipped
shit
it in the
is-
air. It was a 12-ounce can of a Chaos Grid, which is a barrel-aged pastry stout from Modern
barrel-aged.
Times. Blended, yes, they've done
With
various
cocoa nibs, maple syrup, peanuts, and vanilla.
peanut.
Penis.
But you said you
Penis.
wanted to
Okay.
open up
Yeah,
something
penis.
before that, though?
Yeah, we can do something
What
else.
do you got? Or you
I have
went
something
that
that would probably be smart to open before that. So
or not.
We're just letting it air it out. We're
Yeah,
just
let it-
airing it out.
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh.
Whoa.
talk amongst yourselves.
So what
Old-
Joel brought out is Old Viscosity, which is this is the base beer for Ports Brewing. They have Older Viscosity, which is the barrel aged version.
And oldest.
Oldest Viscosity. It is a great beer. Old Viscosity, Older Viscosity, Oldest Viscosity. It's always a great beer, and it lives up to the name. It's always a thick beer. It's always like oil. It's very good. I think the oldest one I had was probably like 2007 or 8, like
wow.
Old Viscosity, non-barrel aged. That was kind of sitting half its life in the windowsill at Pizza Port. So it wasn't great, but it was cool to experience. Brad from the bottle shop over at Pizza Port Carlsbad popped it for us. You may have been there.
I probably was. I was actually just gonna say I've have some stories about like old. It's actually I remember. I think I opened it with. I'm pretty sure I probably opened it with you guys. I had an oldest Viscosity that I got from a Lost Abbey cellar sale, and that one was it was like a 2015 or something. Like it was. Like I said, they don't make it all that often. Like the oldest Viscosity that is.
The other thing about this particular one I just opened is it's a stovepipe now. It comes in stovepipes.
I love this format of beer.
I mean, for this beer, almost unnecessary. But hey,
I
you
know.
I also got this.
It's definitely necessary that this comes in a stovepipe for sure.
Do you guys want some of this?
Abaddon.
It's nothing new or crazy, but it's a great beer.
That's
It's,
that beer has a cult following though.
Part of the name of a great
That's just
Pinback
part of
album.
They
Summer in
raised the
Abaddon.
prices. It was $3.75 for a stovepipe. Now it's $4.25.
Jeez,
I'm distraught. 50
probably
cent.
purely can pricing.
They should have made it 420.
It's like the lumber thing.
They
You know
should
what I
have
mean?
made it $4.20.
Oh, that would have been genius.
Which is crazy because my brother-in-law works in lumber shipping, so his company's making so much
I
money.
see what you did there. Lumber shipping. That's a good one. I've never heard it called that before.
What is it
I'm
called?
missing the joke. I don't know.
I'm missing the joke.
Just distributing wood.
Yeah, just giving the D,
Lumber shipping,
I don't know.
shipping lumber. Oh, okay, never
I
mind.
mean, I just feel like
This is between us, but he started a competitive company outside of his company, so he's getting paid twice.
yeah. Keep that on the down low, right? It's
we only
watch.
got
He's hey, my cousin, he just started a podcast. Check it out.
Well, he's got his side business under his dad's name or something like that. So he's making.
Hey, smart man, dude. That's how I feel like that's how a lot of these people you ever watch Shark Tank and somebody's making, they start off some kind of company. It's where they're computer engineering, some kind of thing. And it's they were just a computer engineer before. So it's they probably just were leveraging their company for a long time before they started to go on their own. You know what I mean? I know it's a pretty bad example, I feel like, but
bringing it back to this beer. I fucking love this right now. It is a throwback to, you know what I always complain about pastry stouts? It's we don't know if they can make a good stout or not. This is a good fucking stout. This is a good stout. I believe they use something similar for Santa's Little Helper, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
As far as a base goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and
It would make
and
sense.
I
Would make
love
sense,
Santa's
okay.
Little Helper, and
Interesting.
like
Yeah,
that's what
Santa's
I'm-
Little Helper.
It's been a long time since I've had a.
Goofed myself
Yeah.
on that beer a little
dude,
bit.
it's so good.
No,
but
that's
this is
yeah.
but this is what I'm
perennial beer.
saying. That's my complaint with like the newer breweries. It's like, can you make a good base stout? And most of the time they cannot. This is great. The brewery that I know can make a good base stout was Modern Times, because they released so many stouts and they had a lot of failures, but then they nailed Monster Spark. Like non-barrel aged Monster Spark only came out, I think, like
It came out like once,
like
a
2014,
year, I think.
2015.
I mean, it came out like a couple times, but I think it was like a once a year thing.
Yeah,
And then they did single barrel versions of it,
yeah.
and they, including some that got infected, unfortunately, but
Unfortunately.
sadly, but they did some single barrel versions. And I remember thinking, like, this is going to be something special someday. Like, I know they're going to do some special stuff with this beer.
And
And they
that was
did.
the base of everything that they
And
fucking
now
nailed
their
after that.
their Monsters Park vanilla cans are the fucking shit.
The nitro vanilla cans are so
Oh,
good.
I don't know if I've ever had a nitro.
Those are the
version.
ones.
Well, no, even a regular did.
all
Last year,
those cans are nitro.
really?
Yeah,
What?
all those cans are nitro.
The more you know.
The more you know. All those cans are nitro, dude. They're fucking awesome.
Is that how the music went? Is it doo 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 doo?
The more you know. Doo 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 doo. It was like something like that.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
pretty
but the
close.
Monsters Park vanilla nitro cans are fucking
Dude, unreal.
awesome.
I remember when I was in the membership, there was like this was like it basically broke the membership. They had to like change the rules after this because they used to have like crazy limits on stuff on their initial releasing of it. And me and my buddy who split the membership bought like fucking like 16 of them. Or something like I think it was like 16 or 12 or something. We bought a ton of them, and then
way
people were all
to let
pissed and they
people
didn't
know
get-
that
yeah.
you're made of money, bro. Because those are like fucking $15.
Hey, I'm not
a
in that
can.
membership anymore.
Yeah, we were
because I
talking
fucking
before we
couldn't-
came
yeah,
back about all that Dogecoin he sold off. For
Oh.
big
Hey,
bucks.
Doge
Dogecoin
baby,
millionaire.
The biggest, yeah, exactly.
Flip
You
it.
We just
still-
gotta mention Doge.
Turn it
Hey,
into
Allie,
beer.
if you listen to this, you guys owe me 5% of that for being your broker.
Checks in the mail, dude. Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say back to this beer though. This just in general, it's been a long time. I feel like since I've had a non-adjuncted stout that wasn't barrel aged.
Yeah, this is so good.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah, it's straight up. Comes in stovepipes, so
Get ready to fucking.
The other one that's really good,
Keep your eyes
they've
peeled.
also released. What's the Oscar Blues one? Because they did the non-barrel aged
1050. Yeah,
1050 non-barrel aged 1050 is fucking awesome too.
they also did barrel aged versions
The
of it
1050 and the stovepipe.
in stovepipes.
I think they were ahead of their time because I feel like they were the first
Whoa.
ones. I feel like they were the first ones in stovepipe cans.
I just like the term stovepipe.
Probably. It's like
That's half the reason why it's a great.
It's like
format.
Abraham Lincoln's hat, basically in beer form.
Yeah.
I don't know.
1050 is so good. And then they did coconut 1050 for a while. That was really good.
They had like the coffee variation of it, the whatever they called it.
Oscar Blues, I think, is a little bit underrated. I don't know if they're still considered craft because didn't they get bought
They
out?
are. They created an alliance with other craft breweries,
Oh.
so they didn't get bought out. No, they
Because
basically
Dale's
just created.
Pale Ale is pretty fucking good.
It is pretty good.
It's
yeah.
pretty fucking good. And
I
then,
had it recently, actually.
and you know, and like we just talked about, the 1050 is fucking great. And then they have what's the coconut one they have?
Well, they also have Old Chub,
That's the one I was thinking. of
which is like a
coconut
Scotch
Death by
ale.
Coconut, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. They
Yeah,
have
that's a
like
good one.
coconut like porter or something like that. That's really good.
Yeah, that beer, and then the Patsy. You guys remember the Patsy?
The Patsy is
I was
barley
saying-
forage.
I was thinking Patsy, but that's
barley
the
forage,
now
that's
defunct.
coconut.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
now
The-
defunct.
Defunct bar. But those two, as far as like easy access, fucking coconut beers, those two were so
I got
goddamn
those.
good.
I always got those two mixed up. I want to see what the name of the Oscar Blues one was because I feel like I always
Yeah,
maybe they
it's Death
lift
by
someone-
Coconut.
It's Death by Coconut.
Death by
Yeah,
Coconut.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Death by Coconut and the Patsy were always great, especially if you went to like a bar or something and they had it on nitro. Because the Patsy was
Oh, yeah.
always on nitro. Fucking so good.
Barley forage, rest in peace. They closed. They're done. They're toast.
Green
I don't know about
Chica-
rest in peace because didn't all of their employees walk out by how shitty their?
Oh, maybe that.
I heard there was
Rest,
some-
rest in perfidy.
There was
I
some
don't
stuff in
know.
it. I know we were talking. I remember when they closed. There was some shit talking going on.
Their entire
amongst the beer
staff
groups.
walked out. Their entire staff walked out and put an open letter to.
I guess so. They probably, to be honest, like I mean, like it's always hard to tell. Like I mean, I obviously I always will stand by what the staff and stuff says, but I'm imagining that the ownership was probably like, we're coming to an end here, and we're trying to do and cut corners and stuff to try to save themselves. But it's like, at some point, who knows? I don't know the whole story there, so I can't really weigh in too much. But
Green Cheek took over Bali Forge, didn't they?
They took over their old location, and they also are basically brewing the Patsy under a different name now. I don't they like literally? I'm sure Evan's probably a way better brewer than they ever were, but basically are brewing like something that's an homage to the Patsy. Or like I don't know if it was a one-off, or I don't know if they continue to do it, but they made something that was like an homage to them.
So if you guys listened to the last podcast, me and Travis got into it about music.
So now that he's not here, go ahead and bury him.
So no, I'm not gonna bury him. But something that I wanted to bring up to everybody, and we kind of discussed this before the show, but music songs that go with beer, like songs about beer.
Oh yeah, we were talking a little bit about this before the show too.
So songs that I'm gonna start this off. There's a beer. I'm not a huge country music fan, but I'm like, there's some that I tolerate. So one of my favorite drinking songs, especially if I go to like Big Bear with a bunch of people, if I'm in a group of people, and it doesn't matter. It's not a craft beer crowd. If we're just drinking to get drunk, and we're drinking cheap beer. Red Solo Cup by Toby Keith. Dude, that is the fucking jam to get drunk to, baby. Red Solo Cup. I fill you up. Let's have a party.
Also, there's alcohol. That's another one I feel like is always one. Not to dominate the situation, but also this is one is more of I consider it a karaoke song. Is that Friends in Low Places?
Oh,
dude, when you're drinking. Oh, because everybody's singing along with that. That's like the Friends in Low.
Oh, that's my go-to karaoke song. Yeah. That's my go-to. I fucking shut the bars down, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut the bars down. There's video of me out there somewhere where we're at this bar in Temecula, and
let's get this fucking video gold.
And I'm literally the last person on the karaoke night. And I have the entire bar singing with me. Like I'm talking about this was my
Friends in Low Places.
This was my my fucking key. This was my what the fuck is
it's like you peeked right here.
This was what the fuck is the dude's name from the Rolling Stone? The lead singer of the Rolling Stones,
Mick Jagger.
This is my Mick Jagger moment. I'm singing through the entire fucking crowd, walking through the crowd. Everybody's singing with me. It's fucking awesome.
Are you singing "Walk This Way"? While you were walking through the crowd.
That's Tyler Perry, dude. Or not Tyler Perry.
Steve Perry.
Steve Perry. I was like,
no, Steven Tyler.
Steve Tyler.
Shit, we were
talking about Medea. What about you, Joel? Do you have any?
There's lots. There's lots, but I'll go with an obvious one. It's "Coconut" by Harry Nilsson. Schmilson. Put the lime in the coconut. You know.
I've never actually heard that song. I just heard that.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was like on a commercial. You put the lime in the coconut. I think it was like a Corona or something.
What's that one? Is it Tech Nine? It's like 151 rum, Malibu.
I'm not drinking 151. Fuck you, Tech Nine. I'm not drinking that shit.
Back in the day, back in the day, you never had
I did 151 charcoal filtered 151 one time, and yeah, it tasted like a fire pit. It was not. It wasn't good.
Didn't you live in Hollywood for a while? I can see that.
No, I did not live in Hollywood, but sure.
Texas, same thing.
Ohio.
Yeah.
No.
Ohio. That's what I meant, bro. You guys are all star-studded out there in Ohio.
We got Dave Chappelle. We got Rick and Eric Clapton.
Oh, dude, I love Eric Clapton.
But I was gonna say, I feel like 151 is like, I don't know. I don't recall. Actually, you know what? I don't actually really recall it that much. But my 21st birthday, I had some 151, but usually only in Jungle Juice. You know what I mean? Like that's when
I've
you have
had
151. Jungle Juice, I've had some crazy. Dude, I had a buddy of ours. Like everyone's always got that. Like, oh, dude, I got this like recipe for Jungle Juice. It's the one. But this literally was like some crazy shit. I'll just tell the story real quick, and we'll move something. We'll continue our beer
music pairing.
Yeah,
beer music pairing.
But dude, it's like this 4th of July blend where it's like Everclear is soaked in watermelon overnight. 151 is soaked in. It's escaping me right now. It's not coconut, but it's like soaked in something. Basically, there's like every clear kind of alcohol you can think of soaked in a different fruit, and then those fruits are combined, and then like Hawaiian punch, and it's just like it's crazy because you bite into one of those fruits, and that's like probably 3 shots of booze.
In one fruit.
Yeah.
In one bite of one fruit.
And then
nice.
because then you let them like kind of like a salsa or something. You like put them all together and let those all marinate. You know what I mean? It's like it's just an insane thing to do.
That's kind of cool. I wonder if anyone's created an alcoholic drink and named it "Bite You in the Ass" yet. Like
That's gotta.
Can
exist.
I get a "Bite You in the Ass," please? A double. Make it a double. Double bite me in the ass. Bite me in both ass cheeks.
I thought
please.
tequila was bite you in the ass because you can drink tequila and then next thing you know you're on the floor.
Every experience I've had with tequila has been
Bite you in the ass.
has been like one of those what happened? I don't know what happened. Like tequila. That's what happened.
That's what
I would say
happened.
tequila is
Yeah.
one of those ones where when I first started drinking. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about when I was like 18. But it's like I remember specifically. I was like. No, well, I guess I was drinking before that a little bit, but like I remember the first time I had tequila, I was 18, and I was like borderline chugging it out of a glass, and I was like, "Oh, this tequila stuff's no problem," and then was like deathly hungover the next day, and then ever since then, it's like tequila's a bit of a bitch sometimes. Like I don't know, it's like that first time I drank, I was like, "Oh, this just goes down," but now
I don't know if it's genetic, man, because there's something about tequila and like I don't want to.
It's part of your blood, dude.
I don't want to generalize, but
dude,
like
it's like Russians and vodka, dude. It's like water to them.
I can handle tequila all fucking night, like all fucking night. Like when I hang out with my family, like tonight, I'm going to my aunt and uncle's house with hanging
That's
out.
what you think. I mean,
And,
we haven't even gotten halfway through what's getting cracked.
So,
tonight.
but there was this night, there was this day where I went out drinking with my friend Micah, but they had to go to like a wedding or something. So like I went home and I was feeling buzzed. We went to a distillery in Oceanside called Pacific Coast Distillery or something like that.
Okay.
And we were drinking all day. And then I was pretty damn drunk. Like they wouldn't let me drive, so I was pretty damn drunk. And then I went to my aunt's house and we were drinking. And then I just gave my cousin my credit card. I'm like, hey man, go buy us a bottle of Don Julio 1942. Let's fucking go. And dude, I kept drinking all fucking night. Like I was beyond wasted, but I was up all night drinking, and I started like at noon. Like,
Well, that Don Julio is also good stuff, though.
yeah,
I'll have to say, good tequila is not too bad to put down, especially some limes.
but
Limes
bad,
kill that shit.
but
like
bad
that.
tequila is also not that bad.
was this also the same night that Hubert, the rainbow unicorn, came to visit you? in your
Damn,
room?
heavy-handed Chris over here. Fuck.
You guys all got your pores, right,
Damn.
boys?
Heavy-handed Chris.
Sorry about it.
Jeez, holy moly! Yeah.
I thought you guys all got your pores away. You guys
Chris
get
has
your
got
pores
like
away.
these,
Would you get
he's got like these biodegradable
Hey, I gotta live up.
plastic
I gotta live
cups,
up
and
to
he just like
I gotta live up
filled
to the
it
nickname, right?
all the way up to like
Hey, I'm
halfway.
drinking. Hey, I'm drinking. Now, Allie's not here. You know what I mean? I'm drinking for two.
All right, if you say so. I mean,
I could give you
Hey
guys
man,
one of this.
look at my stomach. It
This
looks like
is,
I'm pregnant, so I'm drinking for two.
this is pretty interesting. This is like peanut.
Oh, whoa.
Peanuts heavy.
Yeah,
I'm getting like a
I get peanuts and vanilla.
pepper thing.
it kind of skews in the pepper direction for me too a little bit, but it's like I think that's the coffee. It's got coffee, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's.
I'm wondering if that's the coffee because it's like a.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's not. I'm gonna say that's why I'm like when I say a pepper thing, like not in a good way. You know. What I
If
mean?
you go to a local organic like grocery store around here, it's called Jimbo's. They have a vegan peanut butter cup. This is what it tastes like to me.
Would you call me?
Yeah.
You call me.
You-
Peter?
you heard
If
me.
you give me a vegan peanut butter cup, we're fighting.
You know what? It's the vegan peanut butter cups are fire.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, what's not to be vegan about a peanut butter cup? I guess if it's not, it can't be milk chocolate, right?
it's just there's just no milk.
It's just
there's no
dark
butter.
chocolate.
There's no dairy products.
Actually, I would
That's it.
venture to say that dark chocolate with peanut butter might be better potentially than milk chocolate. It's pretty cool. That's one of those ones where
That's
it's
what
like,
it is. It's a dark chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a sign that you're getting older is that you start to like
hell
dark
yeah, it
chocolate.
is. And I'm kind of proud of that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like one of those things. Like, I feel like I've always wanted to like dark chocolate, but it's like it's not. It's not as good as milk chocolate.
There's these
But there's ways.
there's these I think it's Sanders caramels or something from like Costco, and they're like these salted caramel chocolate covered dude, they're so goddamn good. But the dark chocolate ones are better than the milk chocolate ones.
Whoa.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. It's a sign that you're getting older.
Yeah, the milk chocolate ones are always cloyingly sweet in
Yeah.
my mind.
Mhm.
Milk chocolate, anything is cloyingly sweet.
I do
Depends,
fuck with Hershey's hard. Hershey's just like a Hershey's bar
I like
only if it's Hershey's hard though, not Hershey's soft or Hershey's flaccid.
I like
It's gotta be Hershey's
so, I mean,
hard.
obviously, you guys are Trader Joe's fans, right? Like,
Oh yeah, of course.
so they have this like those Belgian chocolate bars, those big ass
Oh,
ones.
the big ones.
Oh,
The
yeah.
big ass
Oh,
milk,
yeah.
the
Those are
big ass
legit.
milk chocolate
Those
ones.
are legit. Yeah.
Those
so
are
good.
fucking good. I'll
Dude,
eat that shit.
no,
That's still my
they're
favorite.
not
pretty-
milk chocolate.
Like,
They're-
fuck Hershey's.
I'm pretty sure it's the same supplier, but when Fresh and Easy was still a thing, they had similar things where it was giant fucking
okay,
bars.
I believe it.
And I used to go fucking ape shit for those,
Yeah,
dude.
I don't think they do anymore. I think it was at Trader Joe's. They also used to have like a big ass, like it was like literally in a barrel full of these like big ass chocolate chunk things, and they were like these big, like they're always like kind of oblong shaped. Like none of them were like
moose
no-
tracks
no one was
outside of the
same
ice
thing.
cream, right? Just moose droppings, straight up.
Also, moose tracks overrated ice cream.
It is.
Discuss.
Yeah,
It's way overrated.
I agree.
It's like let's just throw a bunch of crap and fucking. You know what? Give me vanilla ice cream with chocolate syrup on it. Boom. That's all you need.
Give me
I'm a fucking
moose
fan of
tracks.
that.
Moose tracks is overkill. I think.
overkill.
Yeah.
So is Rocky Road. Like,
Yes.
Is that the same thing basically almost?
Oh,
like,
okay,
Pretty
okay.
much.
It's like, what's- I don't-
Superman? Did you guys ever have Superman ice cream?
no.
What the fuck is that? Is that some
No?
Ohio? That's some Ohio
Did it have
shit or what?
kryptonite in it?
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
I don't. I
Are you
have no
for
idea what
real?
that is.
Yeah,
No
this
one's
might
heard of
be an
Superman
Ohio
ice
thing.
cream.
No.
Oh, maybe it is. So it's like a blue, yellow, and red ice cream. So it's like a combination of a strawberry
Oh.
flavored ice cream.
It's kind of like a Neapolitan,
The-
but like
no,
little-
but the blue is like a citrus flavor. And then the yellow is also a citrus flavor, I want to say. And so like it was a swirl of multiple colors. It looked so, so food dye, like fake, but it tasted so good.
there was. I recall like a Superman pop, like a ice cream pop, like a popsicle, but that was like there was a blue, red, and white.
That might have been similar.
Yeah. What if it was the same thing but just in popsicle form?
in popsicle form, but it was weird. The weird thing was there was yellow in it.
Oh, yellow. What
So
the fuck?
yeah, I don't know.
It
It
was-
I
was-
think, I think your
blue,
cousin's
red, and
beating your
yellow.
ice cream.
I just remember the first time I had it as a little kid. It was magical. I was like Superman.
Well, especially the name too. I feel like as a kid, like they half get you on just fucking branding alone. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have this shit doesn't have to taste all that good. It's just got to be sugary and fucking. I bet you all three flavors were the same. How about that?
They weren't.
No. But like same thing with like Fruit Loops. I was probably in my mid 20s at least when I found out that those were all the same flavor.
fan, where it kind of all tastes the same, and then he can't distinguish it.
That's a whole different thing. But like you guys, but like it's. I mean, I think it's fairly well known that like Fruit Loops, they're all the same flavor.
I don't know.
I mean, I was like, not that I eat Fruit Loops. Like as a kid, I ate them. I was like,
You couldn't have forced me to eat Fruit Loops. I would have been like, no.
what?
No, you couldn't.
Are you even a pastry pal, bro?
You could have tased me, and I'd be
Can
like,
we do
no,
a
I'm not
cereal
doing it.
and beer pairing?
I hated fruit.
That'd be
I
kinda
hated
interesting.
fruit cereal. I hated it. So
I don't eat
much.
cereal at all anymore now. Like not at all. But
Yeah,
I used to, as a
because-
kid. I like it's just so much. Like now
because
that I
it's a
realize like,
rip.
how sugary and bad that it is, it's like you just can't be.
You
I
eating
like
drink
it as a kid.
cereal
beer.
every
That's what
once
you
in a
do
while.
now. You
I
drink
like
beer.
it. It's not that I don't like cereal, but I don't. Also, I don't really drink milk that much. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's why
drinking
you're-
milk is kind of weird.
That's why white people break their bones at like 50.
yeah, right, dude. I drink enough
Dude,
milk in my fucking youth.
anytime I've seen
Milk
it grow,
is not. Also
You know,
milk is not that good for your bones.
anytime I've
It's
seen
fucking
it
Milk
grow,
is
false
actually bad
advertising.
for your bones.
Yeah,
yes,
it's not good for your
straight
bones
up
at
bad
all.
for your bones.
And it's
Any-
sugary.
anytime
and-
I see a grown person with a broken bone, it's always a white person.
It's because we're crazy. We're just doing dumb shit. It's like the white people. It's like white people in a scary movie.
think you're
Let's
doing-
go check out the. Let's go
You
check out where
think-
the. Where
you
they,
think you're doing
like,
more crazy shit than drunk 50-year-old Mexicans?
I don't know. I won't make that claim. I don't know.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is that you guys need to keep drinking your milk.
White people are just nuts, man. Like I don't know. We're crazy.
Keep drinking your milk. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I'm drinking this. That's actually not a milk stout because it's modern times, but.
Yeah. Vegan milk, that'd be disgusting.
So I think we all agree that the battle beers, just to circle back, the undisputed winner, the victor, is obviously Dre Fontaine.
Dude, Dre Font, like we're gonna have to
Um,
do a few. We're gonna have to. I have a lot of 3F goos, and I think we should use that like kind of like so when we do this battle
Is
beer
that
thing.
a threat?
I was thinking that 3F goos is gonna be sort of the bar at which other gooses are judged, and the same thing with barrel aged vanilla stouts. I think that MTV from Modern Times is gonna be like the bar in which other barrel aged vanilla stouts are gonna be judged. I mean, you would say FO, but MTV shit on FO though. I'm pretty sure that we'll have to go back, but I'm pretty sure
MTV
won.
hasn't been around as long as FO. It
But
doesn't
it's
have
better though. I don't know.
It
like-
doesn't have the venerable
But it's better?
reputation
It does.
It
to
doesn't
who,
have
though?
the legacy.
It doesn't have the legacy. Yeah.
Mm,
You know what? And also,
I think it's to be honest, like I said,
BCBS
does it not
vanilla
be-
is older than
That's true.
Then
Bourbon
FO.
County Vanilla.
yeah. That's the
What do you think?
granddaddy.
Do you want to do? I mean,
Well, you shit on Bourbon County, and
you guys like Bourbon County. I don't shit on it.
I don't.
I just thought that
I
Ethereal
don't-
Mounds was better than Bourbon County. Like,
no. But I don't buy Bourbon County. I acknowledge that they
yeah,
make
so
good
you have
beer.
like a moral high ground against it, but you don't buy it. But you love it.
I
Though,
do
when you
buy
drink
it.
it. Like,
I did buy some of it recently because I brought one to one of these.
How
earlier.
much is it? How
Yeah.
much is a Bourbon County?
$12.
yeah, for a regular $12.
I honestly be honest. So when I first was getting into like craft, I mean, I've been in the craft beer for the better part of a decade at least, but I've probably I don't know 5-ish year, like at least.
Chris takes 5 years and rounds it up to 10. He's just like, yeah,
Fuck
that's
you
decade.
guys.
That's
Fuck you guys.
decade.
I have
I was
been-
gonna say he takes 3 years and rounds it up
Shut-
to 10.
Shut the fuck up. But I was saying but it never but then I'd say somewhere around, I don't know, in between 2015 2017, there became a big push of like indie beer versus big beer. I'd say in that time I was a big time against big beer, and I was like, you know what, all about indie beer, blah blah blah, and that stigma is always still kind of lasted. But now I'm starting to coming around. It's like, you know what, bourbon, there's still not many of them, but there's still like Bourbon County still makes pretty legit stuff, and I'm like, you know what, I probably would go to a store and buy Bourbon County now, because it's like, do I want to have same thing with Boone. I was saying compared to 3F, I can get a $25 750 milliliter compared to a $60 one. I'm gonna do that all day. It's like
where are you buying your Dre Goose? Because you can get Goose for like $26.99.
Where? From Dre Goose?
Yeah.
Dre Goose.
Yeah.
For 26? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holiday. you can
For
get
a
it.
750, maybe for
Tap that.
maybe for a 375
No,
milliliter.
for 20.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I have to look at which. To be honest, I actually forget which 3F I was looking at. It could have been could have been like an homage or something like that. But
Yeah, because I know the homage and their fruited stuff is like $50 to $60.
I was just like I said, I was at
But
Bottlecraft
Goose-
Solana Beach, and it was
Goose,
$62. It was
Armand
$62
Gaston Cuvée Goose, it's like $26.
No way. I mean, also the places I see him at are like I said,
That's because you
unless
got.
you're local,
hey,
you're not gonna know what the fuck we're talking
That's
about.
because you got to support your local shops, Chris. You got to stop buying these fucking big chains like Bottlecraft.
That's not
Bottlecraft
a
is
big
a chain.
I guess they
That's
are.
a chain.
They are a chain. I wouldn't say they're
gotta
it's not
support
like
your local
it's not
bottle
like
shop.
Bev. It's not like going into Bevmo, dude.
You
Chill
got to
out.
support. You got to
Calm down,
support.
calm
You
down,
got to
dude.
support
Totally
holiday.
They're not.
Holiday Wine Cellar. You got to support. Tap that. Shout out
Dude,
to Tap
Holiday
that.
Wines. So the other place I go to, which it's usually not by choice but by convenience, is Texas Wine and Liquor, which that place is a ripoff.
Wow.
And that also is expensive. So I'll give you that.
All right, guys, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the podcast. Ali left because of his bullshit. Now I'm leaving.
Later, bro.
So
dude.
so yeah. While
Don't let the
while,
door hit
while
you on the way
Ruben's
there.
leaving, we'll take a break. We'll go find him and we'll bring him back. And
Yeah, so we're just talking about movies here. Well, we're talking about a lot of different stuff, to be honest.
We talked about penis sizes. I'm
took a
sorry.
Talking about Nick Cage
We
for a
took a
second.
break.
I'm sorry to bring the average
But-
down. I'm only 11.
We were talking about
We
the
all
last
took a
three.
nap. We all
Ruben just
took a
made a
nap.
hot
We
take
woke
that the
up.
last 3 Star Wars movies
Sucked.
And I can't, I'm not in a position to confirm or deny it. But it brought up this thing that I was saying, and I'm actually a big Lord of the Rings fan. And there's this meme that goes around. It's like Harry Potter. It's like something like 9 movies and 3 Oscars, or maybe actually no Oscars. And then there's Star Wars, and it's like however many movies they made. It's like there's quite a bit of this one. 0 Oscars. And it goes down the thing, and then Lord of the Rings, 3 movies, and it's like fucking 21 Oscars or something.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
a
mean?
lot,
It's the fucking best, and it's a
Well,
goddamn
Peter
shame.
Jackson-
Lord of the Rings kind of gets put in almost kind of a geek category that's not cool in a way. I feel like. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's a
But the
stigma against it.
thing
It's
is-
like, oh, this is kind of
The
a.
thing is, with Peter
That shit
Jackson,
was dope, dude.
the thing with Peter Jackson is they let this man bring his
His love,
his
of it.
love to life. It was
But
his
it was
idea.
but it was a cinematic masterpiece, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. The problem with and it's very publicized, so it's not just me saying it. It's not just me saying it. It's like when the last three Star Wars movie, there was a lot of fucking there's a lot of hands in the bowl. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, because it was
too many cooks.
You don't get
too
somebody's
many
pure
cooks.
expression. Like
because
Peter Jackson got to have
J.J.
his-
Abrams was J.J. Abrams was recruited to restart the Star Wars franchise.
Right, but J.J. Abrams' shtick is the whole mystery box pizzazz,
Right,
which is,
but then
which is like, here's this MacGuffin we will never explain. It's just this plot device to move things along, and it's like, what's happening? I don't know. It's a dead moment. 2 people bust into the room with guns. Like that's how it works. Like there's no rhyme or reason to
right. But then when they brought a second
it.
director and had to go a second way, anything that J.J. Abrams was building kind of disappeared. Like
well, he wasn't building anything. That's
what's
the thing.
What's the stormtrooper's name? The Black Eye Finch, right? Or
Finn.
Finn.
Yes.
Finn.
Yeah.
Like his plot line could have been incredible in Star Wars. A guy who turns on being a stormtrooper, and then like they hinted at he may have the Force within him, but they never built off that. Instead, it was all Rey.
They're waiting, dude. I guarantee.
Like they missed such an opportunity.
They're gonna
with
make
that.
20 more movies minimum. Actually, probably way more, and they're gonna get to that. They'll get to it.
No,
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think
like,
I think
it's
his
gonna be one
arc
of those
is
things
done.
like, hey, this
he
is gonna
became he became the comic relief. Like
yeah, he did.
you know, and
He was a weird love interest / comic relief.
yeah, and he was such an interesting character because he's the first time we see somebody turn their back on, at least on screen. Because I'm sure there's like a fan fiction or like one of the books somewhere out there where a stormtrooper turns his back and becomes one of the good guys, and they ruined that.
I thought the stormtroopers were all supposed to be clones.
That's right. That's the thing.
That's another problem with the last 3 movies. The complete canon of
They just
Star
kind of
Wars.
were like,
they just said, "Fuck
hey,
it,
don't
we're
worry.
getting rid of
Hey,
that."
you know what? You know, this kind of don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're
Yeah,
not worried about it.
they completely got rid of the canon. Is that what it's called? Right? You know what I'm talking about?
the holocron.
Yeah, they got rid of everything. And then Rey, I hate this term, but we were just talking about. I hate this term, the Mary Sue. But Rey is a Mary Sue. She doesn't have to struggle for anything. Like she's just good at everything.
It's yeah, it's like you automatically are assumed with good. Like yeah, you don't have to, there's no arc where
There's no struggle.
yeah.
There's no struggle. Like
The problem with a lot of
she's
Marvel,
really good at
isn't
fighting.
the problem with some of the newer
Captain Marvel. Captain
movies
Marvel is
where-
similar, where Captain Marvel is
No,
just
Captain Marvel
good at
himself. No,
everything.
he's not because he starts off as a fucking weakling.
First of all, Captain
That's a good
Marvel's a
part.
dude.
No, but there's another character. I'm gonna say there's a character within there that I was actually.
You're talking about Captain America. No, we're talking about Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's the same thing, where she's good at everything for no reason.
Sorry, Captain Marvel. Sorry,
Captain America's a guy.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Sorry,
Captain
you're right. You're right.
Marvel
You're right. You're right.
is a woman in the.
This speaks
And
to
that's
my
the same
ignorance
thing.
of Captain
But-
Marvel. She didn't have to struggle for anything
At
and was
all.
just automatically fucking bombed. Captain
like
America
the whole thing
Sorry.
with Captain Marvel was like, stop letting guys control you. Let your emotions run through. And it became like there's no like she was so powerful. There was no point in that movie. Like
It's just fucking God card. Just boom.
stop letting guys like control. That's basically what it was. It's just like
There's no arc there. Yeah.
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 There was nothing. She didn't struggle for anything. She was just strong for no reason. The only thing was like she could, because people kept telling her to control her emotions during the movie, and as soon as she let control of her emotions, she was just God, and there was no arc in that. Like with Rey in Star Wars, it was just she was a really good scavenger, then she turned into a really good fighter, then she was really good with the lightsaber. Then she was really good with the Force.
Yeah, you have to put obstacles between your
You gotta start off sucking at it, yeah.
protagonists and the thing that they want. They have to have some need or something that they want, and they have to have problems trying to reach it and get
Yeah.
it. And then them pursuing it or trying to get it or failing or whatever has to be the arc of their character development.
That's why,
Right.
like the original trilogy was so good because Luke started off as a naive youngster who didn't know how to control a
And
lightsaber.
even the stuff that happens to him in the first movie, though, he starts off shooting womp rats, and then by the end, he's flying a freaking fighter jet, and he's like shooting like into things. He's like, it's just like shooting womp rats. It's like, yeah, sure, it's just like shooting varmints on your home like hick world planet. Tatooine.
but even him by the third movie is like he got humbled when he lost his hand, and then he's had to overcome that.
He was kind of jaded by the end too. Like I like the idea of
It's sort of
entertaining
dark in a way,
that he
right?
had like lost the faith and become either totally like a cynic or like just like a who cares, nothing matters type thing, or like had actually become evil by the time that the next trilogy came along. But whatever, they just kind of
they ruined that.
let that
I
go.
kind of forgot all that stuff. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about a little bit about ambient pairings, or we were talking about different songs that singing while drinking or not, but it kind of brought us to this thought of ambient pairings, which I'm not gonna lie, like I've actually seen, like if you guys heard of Solaris Brewing, at least they used to, formerly Tusk Brewing, but they used to give ambient pairings, and I feel like it was like kind of a thing. There's like a beer you're drinking, and I feel like it just really goes well with a certain song. I know, Joel, you were talking about a certain ambient pairing that you thought, or you didn't tell us about it, but
I didn't say
some.
a specific one, but I have lots that I could think of, and the one that I'm going to say is going to be Townes Van Zant's cover of the Rolling Stones' "Dead Flowers," which was most famously used in the credit sequence or the end credit sequence for The Big Lebowski.
Oh, okay.
And it's just him singing, "Send me dead flowers to my wedding." I don't know. That's just like this pleasant, like country, like folk cover of this Rolling Stones song that I would totally just sit at a bar and drink.
What would you
drink?
Yeah, what would that be paired with though?
What would I pair it with?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not just pairing with drinking. It's pairing with
I would probably pair it with like something that would be like a go-to for me. I would either pair it with like a nice clean lager pilsner, or I would pair it with like a nice West Coast IPA. That's what I would probably pair it with, and I would really enjoy the heck out of drinking to that song.
No, I get down with that. I got one in mind, but do you have anything, Ruben?
I don't really listen to ambient music,
I'm talking ambient in terms of, I'm just saying that as a word, like any.
It's not
any
ambient
song,
music, bro.
Any song that goes weird. I'll give you one. So I'm a big reggae fan, and "Bright Side of Life" by Revolution, I feel like is perfect with Saison Bernice. It's like. Sorry, but it's just so. What I'm trying to say is, it's a very big, bright, happy song, and then Saison Bernice is a really happy, bright beer that I just get stoked on drinking. And so when I hear that song, that's something that a couple times. Well, I'll put that on the radio, or not on the radio. What am I talking about right here? I put it on my music listening device of choice with when I'm drinking Bernice.
You put it on the Zune, your Zune,
So okay, if we're going off that, here's one thing. We were just talking about this outside. Listen,
behind the scenes here.
Listen to "I Will Possess Your Heart" by Death Cab for Cutie with any barrel-aged barley wine, and just fucking
English barley wine.
It's a viber, dude.
Any
For
barley
sure.
wine.
I completely agree with this.
And I'm telling you, it's fucking vibes.
It's just a vibin' beer with a fucking barrel-aged barley wine.
It's an 8-minute song, and the first 4 minutes have no words to it.
I will possess your heart.
It just gets you in the mood. It's just like, yeah.
I fucking love that.
Ben Gibbard.
Death Cab for Cutie is one of those bands that I discovered when I was older. Like I started getting into them when I was like 28, and like they're fucking good.
It's funny because I've often imagined that Ben Gibbard's undergarments, his sweat-soaked undergarments, smell like English barley wine. That was what I fantasized about for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Death Cab for Cutie is one of those ones where just by the name of their band just seemed like, a band of like music that I didn't really want to listen to. But then, Allie, my wife, is into them, and I was like, I started listening, like, oh, okay. All right. I get down with this. I was like, I judged a book I judged a book by its cover.
They might have been like a little twee back in the day, but I don't know.
I will possess your heart with any barley wine. I'm telling you.
I will possess your liver.
Smoke a cigar while you're at it too. Like I'm telling you, man, that's
and drag the dull edge of a razor like up and down your arm.
I don't know about that. We do not condone suicide here. I mean, but if you do it, don't suck at it. If you're gonna do it, at least
finish the job.
It's down the street, not across.
Finish the job.
No one likes a quitter.
All right, guys.
But anyway, that'll do. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, and that's a wrap. I think. Before we get kicked off of YouTube and stuff, we're
if
too
you're
small
gonna
for
kill
them
yourself,
to know,
do it right.
Jesus Christ. The remarks by our co-host do not necessarily
the
represent
First Sip podcast does not condone or support anything that I have said.
Well, follow us on First Sip. That's the #1 ST Sip Pod on Instagram. You can follow each of us individually. I'm Growler Hour. We got Ruben over here at RL Vinay. Beer with Pleasant Strangers. Allie was not here. Allegory Vassalero.
Also,
And,
make sure to review us, follow us.
Yeah, give us.
on
Give us
Apple,
some fucking.
iTunes,
Don't even have to listen. Really, just press play,
Spotify,
put it on mute.
Google Podcasts.
We need some stats up in here.
YouTube.
Yeah, you don't have to give us 5 stars, but if you give us less than 5 stars, do us a favor and tweet, put in your non 5-star review your full name, full address, mailing address.
Do the right
Also,
thing.
if you
Do
got
the right
constructive criticism, please let us know. If there's something that we're doing bugging
If you got
like
constructive criticism, please direct it to Ruben.
Yeah.
yeah,
Say it right to our
if I
face.
say phenomenal too much, let me know.
I think you've been holding on.
If Chris interrupts my brilliant ideas, please let him know to shut the fuck up. And if Joel is too quiet, hey, tell him to speak up, bitch.
And if you think there's something wrong with Ruben's face, just the way there's nothing he can really do about it. But if there's something wrong with his face, just let us know.
Please,
I got a face for radio.
Please name your reviews Ruben's face, and then put your appropriate star number there. And
also one last thing, obviously our mother company. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but the Beer Nation. Give us a follow. You can
It
find
is
us on
Mother's
all those-
Day.
Yeah.
I am a
Coming up.
misogynist, so that's
So-
our father company.
All right, take it easy, everybody. We're out.